Okay, day 82, part 3, still no Braverman. I am not trying to destroy Hillary Clinton or put all these people in jail. I know everybody who watches this series wants that to happen. I just want I want a controlled demolition. I'm not looking to explode the world because this is a very big, extensive, there's a lot of moving parts here and there's a lot of very rich people here, and I'm not looking to get anyone. All I want to do is just get the information out, and I want to cease the program. I want the program, the Dynacorp thing, to stop. Stop using the kids as bait. Stop having the hospitality parties for the oil guys. That's my only intention here. I hope I'm not going to say anything more about immunity, but I do think it's worth giving immunity to of the 19 conspirators. I think it's worth giving immunity to most of them if it stops this activity. So I just wanted to make a little video for more of the victims and victims' families here. And I'll tie all this together, but let's just start with Epstein, okay? And I'm going to start with the 3 cases that are outstanding, the 2 Florida cases and the 1 New York case. There's 40 kids in the one, and there's 102 Jane Does in the other one, I think. I think Virginia Roberts was Jane Doe 102. So there's at least that many kids. What you have to know, and I'm speaking to the parents now, what you have to know is that this was connected to DynCorp. This is Jeffrey's plane. I didn't register and buy the helicopter for him in DynCorp's name. That's his helicopter. You're going to find his plane. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a DynCorp plane. So what I'm saying is this is an operation run by the U.S. government through the CIA. And because if you made a settlement with him and you thought it was just a private party settlement, and he's made a lot of settlements with these girls, private party, and I'm sure Alan Dershowitz has arranged them all. You made a settlement under false pretenses. This was a government program. So as part of the RICO Conspiracy Act, or organized racketeering, all parties are involved. So Bill Clinton is involved. The government of the United States is involved, all parties. Anyone a part of this racketeering operation, anybody who brought you there, anybody who you had an appointment with, anybody who said, oh, here's a teeth cleaning, and then they said, well, do you want us to fix your fillings while you're there? And then you blacked out and you don't remember things. Anybody who was involved, the dentist, the anesthesiologists, anybody who gave you drugs, any doctor who was there, all the people that were involved in talking you in to go to the island, everyone is complicit in the RICO event. So you have a claim. So this is going to come out in terms of a claim. Now, so you can go to the court and say you made a settlement under false pretenses, and you can reopen the case. And I've talked to the lawyer for these 40 kids, and I've already informed him of that last year. So what I'm saying here is don't think you've settled and now that's case closed, because it's not. You can still reopen the case against the RICO case against the U.S. government and the CIA. Okay? So that's the first thing. If you have had any experience in Europe where I'm talking to the European folks, where children have gone missing, you don't know what happened to them, they became a gypsy, they ran away, supposedly, those kinds of things, or where that you've had a death in the family, you're also going to be able to make a claim. There's going to be this NATO case here. It's going to go through DynCorp again, and you're going to have a claim. So I'm just saying that I'm going to link this Jeffrey Epstein case over time to all the brownstone operations that were run all over Europe. They're going to be run in Paris. You're going to have one in a lot of them in England, but mainly in the London area. You're going to have a lot of them in Berlin, etc. European capitals mainly, and I can't do them all at once. I just have to do them one at a time. So that's where this story is going. But if you've talked to Sarnoff here, Conchita Sarnoff, over her investigation over an 11-year period, she's got a lot of, you want to get in contact with her, she's got a lot of victims documentation. So a lot of the case is already built here. It's ready made to go from her book Trafficking that just came out. All that evidence is right there. If you were brought or bought as an Eastern European girl, for instance, and this is the linkage back to the European operations for DynCorp. This is where the stringers were, the Bosnians and the Kosovo folks that were involved in DynCorp police, mainly police operations. Look for DynCorp and police operations in NATO. They're the ones who were scouting for these girls and stringing them back here to the United States. The most beautiful were brought to Epstein's. That's how it worked. The ones that, in their opinion, weren't as attractive stayed there. So this is how this is connected. So go back to the records of the orphanage, Ceausescu's orphanage in Romania. That was the kind of I hate to say it, but that was the undesirables got kind of sent there, as well as the ones that didn't get promoted to, he kind of got the pick of the litter, if you will. I hate to say that. And then they stayed in other places around the European capitals. And then finally, Ceausescu was this holding area for babies that they're kind of like waiting to see, war babies. Their parents were killed in the wars. They were trying to see how they would turn out. And they had, of course, horrible care. And the last year was a horrible situation. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that you do have a case. And we're going to tie all this back through Sid Blumenthal and Joe Wilson and so forth. And you'll see this all come to light. So I just want to make sure that you know that you have a case. If you were involved, these kids in Syria, I don't speak Arabic, unfortunately, so it's going to have to be through a translator if somebody's willing to put a translation up on the page. But if you were ever involved in any of this type of Aleppo or near Damascus, Homs, they have an operation near Homs as well, where kids are being lost and so forth, get the information and post it to my website, because we're getting together the orphanages in Aleppo where the kidnappings have occurred, okay? So this is important. You have a claim against the U.S. government. You don't just have a claim against, some third-party organization like the White Helmets. Now, admittedly, I'm trying to do a controlled demolition here. I don't want to hurt the United States government, but I just want to make sure things like the White Helmets are taken out. And anyone who's been a part of that. So if George Clooney knows that the White Helmets are a part of this trafficking, and his wife, this Lebanese gal or Syrian gal or Iranian gal, I can't remember what, if she is a willing partner in this, their property and their assets are also available in the case. So I just wanted to. So and then finally, I offered a reward, or if this does come to IRS penalty phase. Now the cases I've been talking about so far, the girls have that case on their own. That's a separate action. But I'm saying in this action here that I'm presenting is a tax evasion action. This is kind of like catching Al Capone. The easiest kind of case to prove is the movement of money without the payment of taxes. You don't have to show motive. You don't have to show proof. You just have to show a bank routing number. The money went from here to there, and you didn't pay tax. You didn't declare it on your income tax. It's the easiest kind of case to prove. So there's a 10% reward in that kind of a case. And what I'm saying is, for every girl or boy's family where they lost someone, I want to make sure there's at least an endowment of $1 million for that family, and also want to make sure they have a matching endowment to a journalism school of their choice. Okay, so I'll go to the next case here. You're going to find, and I've said this, I've tried to introduce this slowly over time, so it's not so shocking. But you're going to find that these comfort suites or hospitality suites or whatever where they drug these girls, just like the case with Epstein, they did it near the Council of Foreign Relations meetings, and these contractors are the ones that hosted the hospitality suites, if you want to call them that. So these companies as well are going to be named in the suit, okay? So you have an action here against these companies, Bechtel, Almabani, and Consolidated Contractors, okay? So if you're involved in any way in the Long Island case, and you know someone or there's a family member, you're going to have an action here that you're going to be able to present, okay, to the court. Again, I'm not going to go through, trying to prove the case against DynCorp, because it's, these other folks that work there and actually were police in Kosovo or were police in Afghanistan or police in other places can prove this. But for investigators out there, where you want to go are police contracts, especially police training contracts for DynCorp, and associate that contract with a State Department transfer of money or a CIA transfer of money. That's where you're going to find all these cases are going to unwind if you do that research. Okay? So, and again, this is unfortunately, time is of the essence because Feinberg is coming in. If he comes in as Trump's top Trump's top advisor, and he's coming in under the radar because he's at the advisor level, he's not at the cabinet level, then this thing gets covered up again. So time is of the essence. That's why I had to time this in between Trump taking office in this kind of lame duck period before he gets in power. So it's going to be time is of the essence in the next 7 days. Okay? Thanks very much.